Take a look at the breaking news I just uncovered that happened underneath the tents. With every passing day, more and more shocking information keeps coming out about Charlie Kirk's shooting, and now even the people closest to him are under fire for acting strangely ever since the assassination. But before we get to that, let me debunk a very popular theory about this shooting. You see, whenever I show you evidence about Tyler Robinson being a fall guy, a good number of people ask this question in the comments. If he didn't commit this crime, why would his father identify him as the shooter? Some people even justify the very strange language in his text messages by saying that Tyler's dad was a cop, so of course he would use words like squad car. Well, let's get one thing straight. Tyler Robinson's father was not a cop, and this has been confirmed by multiple local sources. Now, let's talk about him identifying his son from the photos released by the FBI. Let me ask you a question. Who told us this whole story about his father's involvement in Tyler's arrest? Don't worry, I'll jog your memory.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
So it was the governor of Utah who gave us this information. Did Tyler's father or any other close relative ever confirm this information? The governor also said this.
And in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
Once again, it was just a nameless relative who gave the motive for this shooting, and yet no news channel ever confirmed if this was even true. They were just happy to print whatever the governor was saying. Now look, you can say we're supposed to trust people like Governor Cox, but his own story crumbled pretty much the next day.
No, not again. He has not confessed to authorities. He is not cooperating. But all the people around him are cooperating, and I think that's very important.
You heard it. The guy doesn't want to confess. So why did he just ask some retired cop to help him surrender a couple of days ago? Doesn't make sense, does it? But let me tell you what's likely going to happen. We all know that the state plans to go ahead with capital punishment for Tyler.
Following the press conference, I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly, and it is a decision I have made independently as county attorney, based solely on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime.
However, by now, even the most blind supporters of this administration are saying that the text messages released by the FBI are pretty damn fake. So now imagine this case going to trial. Those text messages are the only evidence that proves everything the FBI is saying. If the jury considers them fake, what do you think will happen? Tyler could walk free out of that courthouse sooner than we expect, and I think both his family and the FBI know this, and in fact, fact, this might just be part of some kind of deal. So next time someone uses this question about Tyler's father to silence you, just hit them with what I told you and watch their whole narrative crumble right in front of you. Now, moving on from this, let's talk about why conservative voters are suddenly questioning Charlie's wife, Erica. A lot of people didn't like how the memorial ceremony was basically used to launch Erica Kirk into the public spotlight. They even used fireworks like it was some kind of celebration. People have also been talking about her competing in Miss USA at the age of 23 at a time when this competition was owned and ran by none other than Donald Trump. People are also pointing out this clip where she mentions how she met Charlie and how nothing is a coincidence.
My husband, well, that was the second time, but the first time with my mother on a pilgrimage. And I was standing in the ticket line. And I remember looking behind me, and in the snake of the ticket line was a guy who looked very familiar. I had no idea who he was. And I told my mom, this guy looks so familiar. And as a typical mother, she said, go and say hi. No. We were late for our flight, and I'm not going to come off like a crazy person that's just weird. That ended up being Charlie. Nothing is by coincidence.
Then there's this whole thing about her family's deep connections to the Department of Defense and the government.
So she chose to move to Phoenix from Ohio because there was more of an opportunity for a female business owner out here with the government, so Homeland Security and Department of Defense. And so she had other business partners that were out here that were already in that industry.
So I can see why people think she is chosen to run the movement that Charlie Kirk created over so many years. Her emails to the subscribers of Turning Point USA certainly don't help her case, because it just seems like she's using Charlie's death for her own ambitions. But let's be fair, Erica isn't the only one close to Charlie who's under fire for acting strange. I already told you how Charlie's podcast producers have been trying to kill all the questions about the bullet by simply saying it was a miracle. What's wild is that apparently the Turning Point USA team is claiming ownership of that drone we saw. The problem is, once again, we have received no footage from that drone, and how can we even trust their words when one of their guys was tampering with the crime scene minutes after their boss got shot? Also, I agree with what Candace Owens is saying here.
And immediately we started to notice a pattern. We noticed that a lot of the eyewitnesses and the people that were sharing those videos weren't exactly random college students from UVU, but rather people that either had strong ties to the government or to Turning Point USA altogether. So what gives?
I already showed you how a lot of people were acting strangely in the aftermath of this incident, like they were all part of a script. However, the next video shows how even the university authorities did not try to secure the crime scene.
Does this look like a normal critical incident response from a university that has emergency services public safety programs and has its own police force? No one's being evacuated. No one's told to shelter in place, not behavior you'd expect to see after a live shooter just murdered a political figure.
It just seemed like everyone was trying to play their part, and that's the most bizarre thing about what we saw that day.
They're scared, everybody, I'll tell you what. All 5 of them. We're taking this country back, everybody, I'll tell you what. Let's get started. God bless Utah. Yes, sir.
Now, Candace also had another theory.
Hey, yeah, there's like a whole underground thing there. And to your right, you're observing those 2 little boxes, and they told me that that was a trap door. So I'm wondering if the federal government has explored the possibility that somebody could have been under Charlie and done that.
Well, folks, I've been trying to bring people's attention to that strange trapdoor because it just seems suspicious. Also, we can't even confirm what was down there because they immediately put concrete over the whole thing, so it's impossible to know if that door led to some electrical circuit or an escape tunnel. Whatever the case may be, as you can see, nothing is adding up about this whole situation, and the same is true with Ryan Ruth, who was just found guilty of trying to assassinate Donald Trump.
And we are following breaking news right now. The jury has returned a guilty verdict in the trial of the man accused of attempting to assassinate President Trump. Ryan Ruth was convicted of all 5 federal charges against him.
While I'm glad he's facing justice, I still don't know why the FBI refuses to investigate all the strange claims surrounding him.
What do you think the percentage likelihood is that Ryan Routh was working for someone who was a contractor or a subcontractor of the United States government or one of its entities?
95%. No, I think it's done informally, though.
For instance, did he really visit Fort Bragg hundreds of times? And if he did visit that base, was he connected to the Green Beret who blew up his Tesla outside Trump Tower? Because if you ask me, both these men were acting like controlled agents of chaos, and their actions against the president also seemed like a message from the deep state. Now, what's crazy is that people like Kash Patel were brought in to investigate these crazy incidents, and yet so far they've pretty much done the opposite of that.
We cannot rely, in my opinion, on this FBI and this DOJ who set up Donald Trump, who tried to weaponize justice against him to kneecap him politically and take him out of the race. We cannot say, oh, let them do their investigation investigation.
I agree.
The Democrats look terrified, not really equipped to handle a guy like Cash. Are we going to learn things about Butler? Are we going to learn things about the Palm Beach attempt?
Pledged to me that he would open the books on what you just said. He would open the books on the assassination attempts.
Let me know what you think about all the theories about Erica Kirk and the Turning Point team. Your comments always give me a new perspective on things, so feel free to share what you think with everyone in this community. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.